YouTube now. Stand by. Aloha and welcome back, fellow light guardians and shifters. Thank you for joining in for some more inspirational Team Tarot. I'm your host, Brendan, aka Mystic Spider-Man, and thank you so much for being here. Happy Monday, happy Moon Day. Maybe if you're watching this in the future, if you're one of the people that watch this in the future, do me a favor, either maybe just like leave a comment on this video or send me a direct message at some point. We got a lot of people who tune in live for these, but I'm always curious as to who's tuning in the future as well. So thank you to anybody, whenever you guys get a chance to be able to tune in. For those of you on TikTok, good morning. If you guys want to be able to jump over to YouTube, just click the link in my profile and do that now. And we'll get things ready. I'm just going to get the decks all sorted, and we'll start off with a Sacred Spirit deck today, and then from there we'll roll into some more broadcasts, some more readings within the broadcast. Again, for those of you who may be new to this is more than just tarot reading. This is about building a community. This is about building a team of conscious creators. So if you're a conscious creator, if you're looking to be able to connect with other light workers and light guardians and shifters, then welcome and feel free to stick around. We got a lot of awesome stuff here just to be able to help nurture and inspire your spirit. And of course, if you guys want to connect further with the community, you're welcome to be able to become a Patreon member, and that's where you can get access to additional exclusive events and all sorts of cool things in the community as well. Hey Kitten, thank you so much for joining in. Can you type in 1111 in the chat if you can hear me okay? Sometimes the audio isn't working on Instagram, and I'm not exactly sure why. So if you can just confirm that it's working okay, that would be super appreciated, and welcome again. So for those of you tuned in right now, let's get ready to move into our first reading, and we're going to be using the Sacred Spirit deck. I'll be on air as long as I can today. I think maybe it might be a shorter one today. We'll see. Just kind of gotta go with the flow, and yeah, it's a full moon today, so happy full moon to everybody who's tuned in on all platforms. If you guys are tuned in on Twitch right now, go ahead and leave a comment as well. And for those of you on YouTube, good morning to you there. And again, for those of you on TikTok and on Instagram, if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, now is a good time to do it. Click the link in my profile to be able to jump over. And yeah, just sending you guys so much love. We're going to get right into this. We still got a few people joining in, but we are ready to roll. And we'll start off with the first reading from the Sacred Spirit deck. And then from there, we will take some time to be able to see if anybody would like to be able to get a reading on air, and then we will continue to roll things into into some more inspiration to be able to share with you guys as well. So cool. All right, okay, let's get things ready for our first reading, and thank you again everyone for joining in. And again, for those of you who are here, the way how we do these readings, every reading that we do, we set it with the intention, show us what we need to see. So for anybody who's tuned in right now, this reading is for you. So what we'll do a quick little meditation, and then from there we will allow ourselves just to be able to take some time to be able to set the intention. Again, so we'll do a little meditation, connect into our heart space, focus in on gratitude, and then from there we'll set the intention, show us what we need to see, and then from there I'll charge the deck a little bit more, and yeah, you guys are welcome to be able to put forth that intention there as well. So, okay. Okay, all right, okay, let's get things rolling here. And thank you again everyone for joining in. And please feel free to invite any friends. So welcome again to everybody. All right, so starting off with a quick little meditation using the Sacred Spirit deck. For everybody here, when you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Maybe this is the first mindful breath that you've taken here for today. Nice soft exhales. As you breathe here, just allow yourself to just be in your heart space, just focusing on gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude for this space, gratitude for this community, gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. And with gratitude in your heart, we'll set the intention, show us what we need to see. For everybody tuned in right now, feel free to focus on that intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the community, we being the collective. Show us what we need to see. And so with that intention, focusing on that, allow yourself to speak that intention with your heart, speak with your mind, speak with your words, speak with your soul. And feel free to imagine a beam of light shooting up into the air, bringing down the wisdom from the heavens and the stars. And so for everybody here, continue to focus on that intention. When you're ready, feel free to gently open your eyes. And I'll charge the deck a little bit more, and you guys can type your wizard noises into the chat. Here we go. And oh, here we are on another magical, beautiful day, and my goodness, is the moon ever out to play, because the energies are ripe, so we must learn to ride these waves, because we cannot change the ocean, but each and every single day we have the opportunity to learn how to be able to surf our way through the valleys and the rhythms and the flow, and through any which way we shall come to play. And so as we split the deck, we shall see what message the universe has for you and for me. So beautiful. I had a little flow tree there to start off our morning. And the first card that we have received for today, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one to be able to receive first thing in the morning. So first card that we have received for today, for everybody who's tuned in right now, is card number 17, Galactic Healer. Galactic Healer. Card number 17, Galactic Healer. Move forward with an open mind. Beautiful, beautiful, powerful card. So let's dive into this. And again, as we're doing this, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions coming in through the PayPal or the Patreon. Again, the way how we do the readings here, we'll do some readings on air for anybody who happens to be tuned in. And then if you guys would like to be able to help support and contribute to the broadcast and would like to receive a reading on air, feel free to contribute on the PayPal, and it can be a $5 contribution there. Or if you guys would like to be able to check out the Patreon, definitely check out that, and then you can join on the Patreon. And with a contribution on the Patreon, that will give you access to our leading member level. And definitely encouraging you to check out the Patreon if you haven't already yet, if you're looking to connect with a community of conscious creators. So thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters. Let's give a quick shout out real quick, and then we'll get right into this reading. Thank you to Craig. Thank you to Ella. Thank you to Cassius. Thank you to Eloise. Thank you to Lauren. And thank you to Jason. So all right, if you guys are ready for this reading, go ahead, drop those 1111s in the chat. Yo, there's Eloise. Thank you so much for joining in. Like literally, just as I said your name, you like spawned in the chat. So, all right, so the first card that we've got for everybody here is card number 17, Galactic Healer. So I'm going to be showing this to the YouTube camera, but I'll show it to the TikTok and to the Instagram camera at the same time to the best of my ability. Good morning, Jeanette. If anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. And if anybody's ready to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that. Let's work on getting one Patreon sign up for today's reading or for today's broadcast. I think that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, we'll see how long I can go today. I do have some schedules, some stuff in my schedule that I have to do today, but I'll be here as long as I'm able to. So for those of you on Instagram, if you guys can hear me okay, drop an 1111 in the chat. Okay, you still can? Okay, cool. I don't know. Sometimes my audio randomly cuts out with the Instagram, so I don't know what's up with that. All right, okay, let's read into this. So just visually explaining the card here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image here. Again, this is artwork from our friend Lewis Dyer. Some of you have probably seen his artwork before. It's like showing up all over in internets and memes. So again, when you guys see this card, what does it make you feel? When you guys see this card, what does it make you feel? I want to just take a moment here to be able to reflect on that. But this beautiful image of this kind of depiction of a very much like a higher dimensional being, or perhaps that's more of a depiction of our higher self. Maybe this is actually what we look like. And you can see this beautiful architecture kind of like imprinted over this image, a lot of like sacred geometry. It's almost like there's like colors in this image that like we haven't even seen before, if that makes sense. Like Lewis does a great job of kind of like bringing in some combinations of colors to really be able to reflect kind of these like higher dimensional, almost psychedelic states. And yeah, just a very soft gaze to the eye, and the eyes themselves have this like beautiful concentric, like kind of like rainbow rings to them. Yeah, a lot of just like beautiful energy coming off this card. So let's read into it. Again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read through the book, and then we'll dive into it a little bit deeper. So again, for those of you tuned in on Instagram, feel free to join in on YouTube. You can click the link in my profile to tune in there. And yeah, if you're here, this message is for you. And I guarantee you, every single person here, like you are a Galactic Healer in your own right. So let's allow ourselves to receive the wisdom from this card. Here we go. Card number 17, Galactic Healer. Don't look back. Move forward with an open mind. We exist in a multiverse with multiple realities. Anything is possible if we set our mindset accordingly. Reaching beyond limitations and what is currently visible to us enables humanity to continually evolve as a species. Sacred symbols, ancient architecture, and medicine have been inspired by astrological phenomena. You may find yourself searching for knowledge on ancient healing practices, energy work, or light-based information. such as DNA coding, energetic downloads, sacred symbols, and self-healing techniques. A guiding hand of a star or galactic healer can facilitate profound healing. Experiencing frequent ringing in the ears, unusual hot flushes, or perhaps knowing answers to questions you have little experience or knowledge of will take focus as you adjust to this higher resonance. Born healers and psychics may experience deep soul activation as galactic healers are present in your life right now. You may feel particularly connected to Palladian, Orion, or Arcturian energy, and it is strongly recommended you discover more about this connection now. Honor your own connection, for at last this may identify why you have felt so isolated and misunderstood in life. You may already feel connected to the times of ancient Egyptian, Atlantis, ancient Lemuria. Now is the time to reawaken your inner knowing and the ancient knowledge that already resides within you. Know that a deeper awakening is occurring now, and you must acknowledge how far you have already come in this life. Again, if anything I say resonates with you guys, drop those 1111s in the chat. While remembering past life experiences can be advantageous to understanding our psyche, it is important to remember you can only integrate healing towards this level in the present moment through conscious thought. Try not to get lost in these connections. You must remember that your time now is in the present, and you must incorporate and embrace these aspects of you if you wish to further your understanding of self and share healing and knowledge with others. Beautiful, beautiful card. Shadow aspect, arrogance, oppressive leadership, irrational behavior. Sacred crystal, Moldavite. Oh man, the good old fashioned Moldavite, man. I love how like hyped up people get over Moldavite sometimes. It's crazy. I'm gonna name my kid Moldavite. No, maybe, I don't know. No, definitely not. Angel assistance, Archangel Raphael, deep physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Affirmation, I reawaken my soul's desire to learn and grow beyond existing limitations. I reawaken my soul's desire to learn and grow beyond existing limitations. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this reading. Thank you again to those of you tuned in on all platforms. Let's keep things rolling. Again, for those of you on TikTok or on Instagram, feel free to click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube, and we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon, and we'll continue the readings as we go. So, all right. Yeah, where am I, Ryan? Baby's at right? So, ew, that's a nickname for a kid named Moldavite would be Moldy. Yeah, I guess I would. That's a good reason not to name your kid Moldavite, I guess. Anyways, all right, let's dive a little bit deeper here. Thank you, Seal, thank you, Wheezy, and thank you everyone on Instagram. So, very, very beautiful card to be able to receive first thing in the morning, to be able to receive first thing in the week. Again, you know, when we do these readings, it's us checking in with the universe to be able to say like, hey, universe, what do we need to know? What do we need to keep in mind? What do we need to be able to hold within our hearts? And so right now, I wouldn't be surprised if this card shows up every single freaking week. Like at this point, like the universe is just like, this is where you are. This is where you're going. This is what needs to be remembered right now. Because right now, like as much as this personal awakening is something that is, you know, like happening within our own internal space, within our own internal consciousness, this idea of being able to really connect in deeper with our understanding and our story as galactic healers is incredibly important. And I think at the core of who we are, like we are healers, you know, like that is like a byproduct of being human. And again, you know, what does it mean to be a healer? I think to be a healer is the process of being able to hold a resonance which brings things back to a natural state of harmony. You know, so like I think when reality is in its default, it is kind of like constantly moving back to a place of harmony, even when it's like moving out into chaos. Like sometimes when it moves out into chaos, it's actually shifting into a vibration where another level of harmony can occur. So for us, what we want to be able to do is we want to be like beacons and pillars to be able to anchor in the frequency for harmony to be able to like land here within this reality. And so it's pretty interesting because again, with this card, the context of like the Galactic Healer, it really does invite us to be able to start seeing a little bit more of our bigger story. And that's going to be different for each and every single one of us. When you think of Galactic Healer, what do you think? You know, like for those of you in the chat, what do you think when you think of the Galactic Healer? And so again, with this card, it's really opening up that very interesting and exciting part of the story where, you know, more and more people are starting to realize that like it's not just us on Earth. And those of us on Earth are not just quote unquote from Earth. I mean, who's to say where it's actually from? But it's definitely opening up to this idea that like within us, you know, when you start looking at like soul and just like ancestral like wisdom that's been passed on through like DNA and all sorts of like crazy metaphysical stuff, we get to this point where we begin to realize that, you know, like what we are right now is actually a culmination of many things. It's actually a culmination of like many different like cultures and species kind of coming together. And as much as it is, you know, like a culmination of our literal like linear ancestral heritage through our bloodline, there's also again kind of like this soul heritage, this like energetic heritage, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And so with this energetic heritage, you know, we become ambassadors. This is actually really important. We become ambassadors for the energy of our heritage, for the energy of what it is that we are connected from. Think of it as like literally, you know, like branches kind of stemming off a tree. It's like you're way further out on the branch, but like where did your branch come from? You know, your branch was like originally connected to like all of these other kind of like roots and branches, and it goes quite a ways back and forward as well. So when you start to kind of open yourself up to the idea of like, you know, we here on Earth, like, man, like this is just a blip. Like this is, you know, like from our perception, it seems like it's a really long time, but in the scale of a universe that has been existing through like, you know, billions and billions of eons and generations and things of so forth, it's hard for us to even fathom like how far back those branches actually go, and whether or not that's more just like in a literal sense or it's more kind of like a dimensional metaphysical sense. Like this context of being able to relate to the idea of each and every single one of us who feels called to kind of like, you know, begin to embody this, does have like some sort of particular connection to something such as the Pleiadians or the Ryans or the Arcturians, which again are these like conscious star civilizations. And again, you know, use discernment, take it with a grain of salt. I can't say for certain, like I can't just like literally like show you this information and tell you it's 100% fact. But a lot of this information is what a lot of people are experiencing through, you know, their own personal heartfelt connection. It's something that's coming in through their dream space, through their synchronicities, through their intuition. And so again, you know, with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to tap into more of our abilities as healers, more of our abilities as healers, not just in the sense of like healing through, you know, tending to a wound, but also healing through the process of like kind of like reconnect that which has been fractured in a lot of ways. And I think what a lot has been fractured right now is actually like the mind. It's like the psyche. It's the spirit. The spirit has been fractured. And what I mean by that is like humans have actually begun to, and this is not anything new, but now we're seeing it even more prevalently, where like humans are kind of like removed from their own heart. They're like removing themselves from their spirit, and not like it's literally getting removed, but there's like a bunch of like gunk and mud and energetic like just like sewage that's kind of in the way from them being able to connect to a clear frequency, to a clear signal. So, you know, again, as healers, what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to heal through art, heal through inspiration. Like, yeah, it is going to be like healing through like, you know, like hands-on and Reiki and actual like practical like medicines and plant medicines and all sorts of things of that nature. But again, you know, like the healing is also something that takes place through the process of being able to share something from your heart that helps awaken the heart of others. And if that makes sense for you, drop an 1111 in the chat. Because again, you know, I think sometimes we think of the idea of like, be like, if I were to tell you like you're a galactic healer, you'd be like, whoa, like that's a lot of responsibility. Like, hold up, I don't know about that. Like that sounds like a pretty big task for me to be able to do. Like, who am I to call myself? I'm just a humble human. Who am I to call myself a healer? But once you begin to understand that, you know, like the healer is actually like a birthright that we carry with us. You know, the context of being a healer is, again, you know, the process of being able to send out signals that will give something the ability to be able to co-regulate to. So if you can send out signals of love, if you can send out signals of inspiration, of hope, of wonderment, of awe, more and more people will begin to kind of like find themselves attuning to these frequencies, attuning to these signals. I know a few people just joined in on the fly. So what's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining in. And again, you know, this is a call to action. With any of the cards I do here, it's not just like, hey, here's a fancy card, good luck with that. Like, it's like, here's a card, this is a call to action, what are we going to do about it? And so for each and every single one of us, the reason why we're receiving this card right now, like the collective, for anybody who's tuned in right now, is to give us that reminder that, you know, like especially now on the full moon, that we are here to be galactic healers. Like, this is like a duty, and with great duty comes great responsibility, but there is no duty too great that we can't carry. Like, we literally came here to be able to activate as galactic healers. And you know, it's fascinating to think that we have this capacity within inside of us, and yet here we are in life, and we're just kind of like beginning to kind of like unlock these abilities, tap into them, nurture them again. And so as we start tapping into them again, you know, it literally gives other people the permission to be able to initiate their own process of tapping into them as well. So, you know, with a card like this, I'll just get close to wrapping it up here. Good morning, Ashley. Thank you again to everybody joining in, for all of you on all platforms. You know, with this card, again, you know, as a galactic healer, just very simply put, a lot of this is, again, you know, the process of healing the self. So good morning, James. So the process of healing the self, you know, that in tune allows you to become a clear conduit for the healing of others. And it's going to be kind of like both and both. I do think that there's kind of like this kind of misconception that people say, like, you know, like you can't heal others until you've been healed. I don't think that's necessarily fair to be able to say, because I think oftentimes like the act of helping others and the act of wanting to be able to assist others actually does become healing for ourselves, because we find like this connection and this meaningful like relationship between like finding purpose through the process of being able to be like, oh, like I don't have to be 100% healed in order to be able to heal others. Good morning, Mystic Tarot. Thank you again for joining in, everyone. So with this card, you know, first thing first, you know, taking care of our own vessel is incredibly important. So as we learn to heal ourselves, we can learn to heal others. This is stating the obvious, but again, you know, like it's something that I think we do want to be able to carry with us, because the more that we can get good at taking care of each other, the more that we can get good at taking care of ourselves, the more that we can get better at taking each other. And then it's also, again, it's about being able to kind of like clean your radar dish, clean your vehicle, clean your spaceship, so that you can open up to more of like that creative inspiration, that creative intuition, that creative expression, that creative natural ability to really be able to like embody this frequency of love. Like, as I get like all like hyped up and passionate about this, which we should. So again, you know, this card is about service. It's about altruism. It's about compassion. It's about being able to understand the bigger story that we have. And so, you know, this is a card that does relate a bit to, you know, being able to be open to past lives. And I know a lot of you on TikTok have seen my video about is this the fall of Atlantis happening again, and have we been here again? And as much as those ideas can become very big and very exciting and everything like that, it's important to remind ourselves that like we are here now. Be here now. Be where you are, right? So if you find that associating with like this identity of connecting to Orion, Arcturian, Lumerian, past life, if it inspires you to want to be a healer even more, or if at least just opens up your curiosity to say like, I'm curious to figure out more of why I'm here, use that, right? Like use that as momentum and again, just kind of like foundation to really be able to find a little bit more of your purpose as well. So we are healers. Like we literally are healers. It's like our natural expression, our natural capacity is to be able to carry a resonance, and that resonance, when it is one of like a specific frequency of love and compassion and inspiration, it in turn will literally affect like the resonance of others. It literally co-regulates. So you are a galactic healer through the expression of your heart song, through the expression of your art, through the expression of your love, through the expression of your mere presence alone literally heals. So there's a little message there for you guys. So let's step into our role as galactic healers. We are literally these like galactic ambassadors here on Earth right now. The world is definitely at a point where now is the time for us to continue to kind of like step up. And again, that can be something where it's really big and you're making videos on TikTok and you're going all viral and stuff like that. Or it can be equally as important simply by being able to focus in on like your immediate circle. Maybe that's your household, maybe that's relationships with your family, maybe it's a few relationship with your friend, but most importantly it's a relationship with yourself. And even if you're just like, you know, by yourself and you're on a temple and you're like sending out some powerful vibrations, like, hey, that can work too. Everyone's got a role to play. There is no limit to how we can get creative about how we want to be able to heal the world. So last note on this, let's get creative. What does healing mean to you? How can we heal the world? How can we heal each other and the planet, and to be able to help thus in turn anchor in a much more harmonious future for everyone? So Go ahead, leave a comment in the chat. How does this resonate with you? If this resonates, drop those 1111s. Feel free to write out a little affirmation or just any thoughts as well. And yeah, we'll take a break here, and I'll just take a quick little opportunity to just kind of get some tea. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, Kat. And thank you. It says affirmations of self-love and of encouragement. Play, dance with one another. Get exercise. Yeah, like seriously, like physical movement is such a powerful way to kind of like clear our own gunk, and then that in turn like helps us become better conduits as well. So cool, awesome. Wheezy, see y'all. Ashley, thank you guys again for tuning in. Those of you on TikTok, thank you as well. Those of you who may be on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please join in on YouTube. My Facebook isn't where you want to be watching in. I don't see the comments on Facebook, so if you're tuned in on Facebook, feel free to jump over to YouTube. So, and thank you again, regardless of anyone's tuned in from. So, all right. For those of you on TikTok, if you guys can do me a favor, can you like this video? I forget how to do that. I don't know if there's like a button somewhere, or you just like tap the screen, but then more people get the chance to be able to tune in. So, again, quick little affirmation based on the teaching of this card. We just did a card on Galactic Healer, like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card here. And yeah, I'm just going to do a quick little affirmation, and I invite you to share an affirmation as well, or just speak it within your heart. I am continuing to align with my purpose as a galactic healer. I carry with me the strength and the wisdom and the lineage of generations of healers before me, of this planet, this star system, and beyond, to be able to help serve the world in this moment, however it needs. So, Galactic Healer, activating the Galactic Healer in you. Pew, pew, pew. Thanks, Be the Love. Thank you again for joining in. And yeah, again, so at this point, and thanks, Alcat. At this point, we'll just take a quick little moment to have a little intermission. So again, the way how this works, team, if you're not already familiar, this isn't just about tarot. This is about being able to build a community of conscious creators. So if you're a conscious creator and you're looking to connect further with our community, definitely check out our Patreon. A lot of our Patreon members are tuned in right now, actually. So Patreon, that's where you can support artists with monthly contributions. And I have a Patreon, and with that, you get a monthly membership. And within our monthly membership, that also gives you access to exclusive events here in the community. So it's a really, really cool space for you to be able to connect with fellow conscious creators. And it's also a space for you to be able to help have your content promoted and shared to a wider audience. And I also help our members with conscious media creation coaching. There's a lot of awesome perks for the Patreon. So if you're looking to be able to check out the Patreon, definitely encouraging you to do that. Definitely encouraging you to do that. It's $11 a month, and the $33 level is the best dollar level, and that gives you the option to be able to have monthly one-on-one sessions with me, and also a special Light Guardian crystal, which you can order from the website there. So if there are any signups for PayPal or Patreon, again, if you guys can do that a little bit later today, it doesn't have to be right this second, but if there are any that come through in this moment, then we'll do some more readings on air for whoever signs up. But if anybody wants to be able to sign up on PayPal, then you guys can do that there as well, and you can just contribute a few dollars on PayPal. Even if you're already a Patreon supporter, you guys can do that as well. There's some cool things happening coming up for the Patreon supporters in the community that I'll just let you guys know about, and then we'll get into another reading, and then that will be the last reading for today, unless we do have any new signups, which is totally fine. We got a lot to do today. So today at 4 p.m. EDT, I'm interviewing my friend Neil, and that's going to be about the Portal to Ascension conference. And that's a conference that I'm helping out with online, and it's like all about like disclosure and consciousness and like ancient civilizations. Lots and lots of really cool stuff. That starts October 1st. Check out portaltoascension.org if you guys are interested in that. Tuesday, we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle for members. We do that every Tuesday at 4 p.m. EDT. Wednesday, we have a paradigm shift circle discussion, the topic to be announced for that. And then Thursday, we have a conscious media creator dojo session, and that's going to be about learning how to build your own Patreon and how to use Discord for those of you who are looking to be able to build your own community spaces there as well. And then on Saturday, for Patreon members, we have our Paradigm Shift Dream discussion circle. So that's going to be hosted by myself and my partner Lacey, aka Paper Druid, and that's Saturday at 11 a.m. EDT. So Patreon members, if you guys are around for that, that'll be really awesome. And again, for those of you who haven't already yet, feel free to check out the Patreon and see which tier resonates with you. And if you guys know other people that you think would be a good fit for the community, please feel free to let them know. The other cool thing, I'll just mention this and then we'll get right into our next reading. It's a small crowd today, so if we don't get any signups today, it's not a big deal. So another thing that, and I'm just sharing because Wheezy, Ashley, for anybody else in the chat, for the Patreon supporters, it's exciting to be able to share this with you guys. So what we're going to be doing starting soon, for those of you who are Patreon members, who are leading members in the chat, you guys will actually be able to earn experience points by interacting with our Discord server. For every, as you earn experience points, you go up levels. For every 5 levels that you go up within the server, you actually earn 5 shift points. And then the shift points you exchange for shift buttons when you order from the shop. So literally just by participating in the Discord, you guys can actually like earn currency. Our shift buttons are like an internal currency, and it's like a little extra like bonus and thank you and incentive there. So by participating in the Discord, then you can actually like earn shift buttons and then use those to be able to like have fun and send out to people as well. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like that idea? Drop a 777 in the chat if you guys like that idea. So that will be starting soon. I'm just doing a few more updates within the Discord server. So cool. All right. Again, if there's anybody who would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now. I'll get right into the next reading. It's a small group today, so like if we don't get any new signups, that's okay. But this will be our last reading for today. If you guys do want to keep the broadcast going, again, contribute on PayPal or contribute on Patreon, and feel free to do that whenever it works for you. And if we do have any new signups in the next little bit, then we'll do some more readings after this. So all right, are you guys ready for the next reading? If so, drop an 1111 in the chat. Welcome again to those of you who maybe tuned in on Twitch. Some of you may be new to me. Thank you so much for swinging by. Shout out to Jeanette. Shout out to can't pronounce that, Xavi Meaty. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. And thank you to Go With Him as well. Thank you guys for swinging by. And yeah, again, this is more than just tarot. This is a conscious community, and this is a really awesome opportunity for more people to be able to get connected as well. So all right, let's get ready to move into our next reading. Again, this will be our last reading for today unless we do have any new signups on PayPal or Patreon. Oh, you guys like the button, the shift points idea? Yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Like I'm doing a bunch of, if you guys actually go on the Discord right now, you'll see there's like a channel you can join where it's like 24/7 podcast streaming of like past episodes. So you can just like tune in there anytime. You can like listen to some cool discussions, and synchronistically you'll be like, oh, I haven't heard this one. And it's pretty, like, it's literally streaming right now. I don't even know what episode it's on. It's like something from like weeks ago. So all right, okay, cool. Let's get right into this next reading. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use the Hero's Journey deck. Again, thank you so much to those of you tuning in, and happy to be able to have you guys here. And let's see what message the universe has for us. If there are any new signups on PayPal or Patreon, we'll keep an eye open for those. So quick little meditation for everybody here. Feel free to set the intention, show us what we need to see. So I'll just do a quick one, and yeah, we'll see after this. This may be the last reading for today. So here we go. So for everybody here, feel free to join us in a quick little meditation. As you gently close your eyes, allow yourself to connect with your breath. And as you breathe here, just bring yourself into your heart space. And just being in this space of gratitude for yourself, for the community, for the messages we are here to receive. With gratitude in your heart, collectively we'll focus in on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, the team, the community. And so focusing on that intention, speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Imagine a beautiful beam of light shooting up from where you are into the heavens and bringing down the wisdom of the stars. When you guys are ready, gently open your eyes, and I'll charge the deck up a little bit more and we'll split the deck. So here we go. With each and every single breath, each and every single day is a new way to be able to learn how to be our best. And yet to be our best is to simply be, because that is the truth of this mystery, is that it's not about where we have been or where we are going. It's simply about being right here and right now, for that is where we will truly find the gift that has always been within the heart of yours and mine. And so as we split the deck, we shall see what message the universe has for you and for me. All right. Oh, I love this one. Man, I wish we had more people tuned in right now. I really do, just because like I know like this like message is pretty hype right now. So How's the feed looking on YouTube right now? Is the feed like, is it glitchy at all? If it's glitchy at all, if you guys can let me know, that'd be appreciated. I just want to check real quick, and then I'm gonna show you guys which card we got. I'm just checking because I'm trying to figure out if like my bandwidth is getting glitched out. It looks like it's okay. Man, I have closed captions turned on for my own thing. Weird. That's funny. Okay. Anyways, all right, we got 3 people tuned in on YouTube. Let's keep things rolling here. Thank you guys again. And cool. All right, here we go. All right, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you're here, this message is for you. So the card that we have pulled is card number 48. Weird is the new cool. Card number 48. Weird is the new cool. Boldly express your uniqueness. So, super beautiful card again. I'm just going to kind of do a quick reading of this. Like I said, this will be our last reading for today, unless we do have anybody who would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon to have a reading on air. And yeah, thank you guys again so much. So, beautiful image of this beautiful like feminine female form. Again, kind of like looking very just kind of like long-ish and beautiful hair and this like beautiful kind of like blue. Again, I'm just explaining it literally what we're seeing right now. When you guys see this image, like what do you think? When you guys see this image, like what does it make you feel when you guys look at this image? So again, they also have kind of like almost like yeah, just like some very like simple makeup. Again, I'm just explaining this. The written description is more kind of like what's important in this. So we'll get right into the written description. But yeah, the card itself, weird is the new cool. So for those of you who are tuned in, damn straight this message is for you. You beautiful weirdos, you. So, all right. Okay, card number 8. Card number 48, weird is the new cool. If you're here, go ahead and, yeah, this message is for you. And if anything can say resonates, draw some 1111s in the chat. Jeanette already dropping the 1111s. Here we go. All right. This is a quote by the great Jack Kerouac. The only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time, the ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, burn, burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles exploding like spiders across the stars. Beautiful. Man, I love that. All right. Message. Here we go. You've had a golden experience, one which seems impossible to describe. Yet be reminded of the biblical phrase, to the one in whom much has been given, much is expected. It is your sacred duty to find the words, or at least the symbols, in courage to express them to your tribe and to the parts of yourself that didn't go on this adventure. If you are called strange or odd behind your back, then so be it. Weird is a mantle to wear proudly, because in being true to yourself, you might inspire someone else to be more of themselves. I'll reread that part real quick. Man, like, quick, everyone share this with your weirdo friends. Get 1,000 people tuned in as we hype them up. Okay. Weird is a mantle to wear proudly, because in being true to yourself, you might inspire someone else to be more of themselves. When you peer outside the confines of the ordinary world, you encourage others to recognize there is joy in being themselves. The word weird comes from the Old English word weird, W-Y-R-D, which means fate, chance, fortune, destiny. The one who stands in both worlds. Be embodied to be your weird self, for it is the weird ones who bring forward noteworthy contributions. Damn freaking straight. Dream symbol, gold. Dreams of gold symbolize abundance, royalty, and wealth. Perhaps you've come to the completion of an internal alchemy process, by which you've raised a dense energy into a highest vibration, which can now support you and your tribe in living more spiritual and material affluence. Mantra: I validate my uniqueness as soul gold as I share the treasures. The treasure is multiplied. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper into this card. Thank you again, everyone, so much for tuning in. If anything I say resonates, drop those 1111s in the chat. And If anyone wants to sign up on PayPal or Patreon for another reading, now is the time to do so. But this will be our last reading for today if there's no new signups, which is totally fine. So, okay, all right. So this is a great card. I remember just like getting super excited about pulling this card in the past, and again, weird is the new cool. The world needs your weird. So it's interesting because in today's society, we've become so conditioned to be able to ostracize that which is different. And I mean, that in itself is slightly concerning in a lot of ways. But I think, again, when you look at the history of nations and cultures and everything like that, it was the weird ones that changed things. It was the weird ones who created the Renaissance. Because if you want to be able to evolve beyond the consciousness of the time, then you have to be able to think from a consciousness outside of the box. So with this card, it's really being able to acknowledge that each of us, by our definition, is weird. This idea that weird, the old English word, comes from the connection to fate and chance and fortune and destiny. So a lot of what we recognize as associated with like the original word of weird is actually like very associated with like the wizard energy. So this isn't just about being like weird, it's about being a wizard, a weird wizard sort of thing. For the weird ones were the ones that were able to see the world, to see the code behind the world, to see the language of the world. It's interesting because, again, like with this card very much correlates to the fool archetype within tarot. So it's like the one who can see the game, the one who's above the play, who can like see the actors coming and going. So with this card, it really invites you to be able to understand that, this world needs more of your weird, and to be able to bring it out into this world through the expressions that are unique to your heart, through the expressions that will thus in turn be able to help inspire others to be able to express and to be able to celebrate their unique weirdness. So, rather than just saying like, oh, weird is something that just like has no place and has no belonging, we need to be able to transform the society with our weirdness from the inside out. We need to like rebirth Babylon from within, so to speak, because what we identify as the weird is also the ones who, again, understand the language of spirit, understand the language of the universe, understand synchronicity, or at least they're on a quest to be able to understand it. Like, really, like, what's weirder, like being able to question the idea that, perhaps there is more to this reality than meets the eye, or confining to like a small little box and never going outside of it. Like, to you, which is weirder, right? Like the idea of like not being curious, of not thinking outside the box, of not wanting to know what else is out there, that to me seems weird, because again, like that's like, we've created this definition that in a lot of cases, weird has been stigmatized. Like they've actually hijacked the word weird, and they use weird as a derogatory sense. They use weird as a way to be able to put others down. It's be like, oh, like that kid in the schoolyard who's like playing with crystals and stuff like that. Like, they're weird. Why? Like that just means like they're doing something that I'm not used to seeing. But like that's based on your perception of like your small little conditioned box of reality. So why do we need to be able to just label people as weird when in fact we can embrace the idea that each of us does have this weirdness within inside of us? Our spirit is weird by default. Like, it's like, dude, like you freaking like blasted through some sort of like multi-dimensional spaceship, and then you like came in through the portal of your mother, and now you're like a soul like encased in some sort of like human flesh suit. Like, that's not weird to you? Like, are you kidding me? Like, dude, this entire reality is nothing but weird. And again, by weird, to me, when I use the word weird, like I think we want to be able to flip the script, and I hope you guys can do this too, where we start associating the word weird with just kind of like magical, with like, again, being able to kind of like connect to that which is unseen, to be able to connect to the bigger story, to connect to the bigger picture. That to me is what the word weird is really being is more so about. And so again, it's kind of like this idea of how the word weird probably at one time be like, oh yes, that ancient alchemist, he is such a weird man. Like, oh, I am so honored by his weirdness, by his ability to be able to like, you know, like see the subtle details of this reality and bend them to his will. Like imagine back in the time, like weird was actually like a word of prestige. To be like, oh yes, he is such a weird and humble man. And now, you know, eventually over time, kind of like in this story of, you know, you see a wizard walking on the side of the street, and for someone who's not used to them, be like, oh, there's that weird man. But then eventually weird over time becomes like, oh, there's the outcast, there's the unusual, there's the one who's different, there's the one who doesn't belong. So what we've created over time from this word and this concept of weird is actually a division between ourself and other, which in a turn is actually a division between ourself and ourself, right? Like if you guys know what I'm talking about, drop those 1111s. Why do we say something is weird, right? It's because we actually don't want to acknowledge that it is actually a part of ourself. There's like something where we're just like, I don't want that, I don't want to see that within me, I don't want to see me in you, therefore I'm going to push you away and I'm going to call you weird. But truth be told is, again, you know, when you embody your weirdness, when you allow yourself to cultivate more of like what your weird is, your unique expression of weird, then you yourself become a mirror that allows others to be able to feel more confident in being able to express their weirdness. You know, like and I'll just talk on this for a little bit longer. Again, for those of you just joining in, welcome, good morning. Hey, Wander the Moon. Hey, Shattering the Matrix. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, this will be our last reading for today, unless we do have any new signups on PayPal or Patreon. I'll just put the link in for that real quick. So if you guys want to do that as we're reading this card here, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today, which is totally cool. There's a lot of other stuff happening today. But I was going to say, you know, within this, what was I going to say exactly? Did I forget what I was going to say? I think I forgot what I was going to say. But yes, we need to definitely embody more of the weirdness, and to say, oh, this is what I was going to say. Embracing our weirdness and celebrating our weirdness is such an important thing right now, you know, instead of just pushing it away. It was funny because like this isn't even something that is just about adults, right? Like the weirdness is something where it's also about kind of being able to connect into our inner child, so to speak. But I saw a video the other day, and the video was literally it was my friend posted it, and it was like of her son dancing. They were just out at some park, and he was dancing, and he's like a dancer. He's like 2 or something, right? And he's just like a dancer. And then there's like these other little girls, and they're standing next to him who are probably like a couple years older, and they're just kind of watching him, and he's just like dancing, and his mom's like encouraging him, and the girls are just like, they're just like they're not like, you can just tell like they're not sure what they should be doing, and they're just kind of like watching him, but he's like being friends with them and everything like that. And it's just like, man, like what's going on, right? Like those girls, for whatever reason, I mean, not to say I know exactly the reason, but for whatever reason, you know, there was something inside of them where they were just like, they were never encouraged to express that side of themselves. So when they see another kid dancing just for fun, they don't really know what to do. And that for me is something where it's like, man, like that kind of like, I get it, it's kind of sad, but that in turn, you know, I think it relates to a lot of people, and it is something that we can begin to shift. You know, again, it's like when I go out and back in the day when I would do free hugs, people would be like, dude, like that's so unusual, that's so weird. And yet other people would be like, oh my God, like this is the best thing ever because I see what it is that you were doing. Those who have the eyes to see will recognize weird as weird, right? Like that's the thing, right? Like right now, weird is like our calling flag. You know, if you were to go out there and try and find a crowd of people, you might have like a bunch of them that might just be like really stone cold. But then if you're just like, hey, like who else here is like, you know, like totally like into weird like metaphysical quantum science metaphysical stuff, or just like geeky stuff too, right? Like it could be anything. It's many subcategories of weird. And then there was like, dude, like yes, I get it. Weird is a frequency. Weird is an expression. Weird is a way of being. Weird is something that is needed for this world. And going back to the other card, you know, the card we had before this was all about the Galactic Healer. And yeah, Jeanette, like absolutely. If you guys are weird and you claim it, type it in the chat. Be like, I am weird and I claim it. Like embrace and embody your weird. And because I think when you can acknowledge your weirdness, And again, your weirdness can just be like your quirkiness. As long as your weirdness isn't hurting other people, then like embrace your weirdness, right? Like embrace your weirdness as something that's like a unique way that spirit is expressing itself through you, through the ways that you like dance and play and create. And so again, the previous card that we had about the Galactic Healer, the Galactic Healer is about being able to cultivate our weirdness and to use our weirdness as a medium for our message, to use our weirdness in itself is the healing energy, because when we use our weirdness to be able to help like kind of like snap people out of the spell, to awaken them from their matrix, so to speak, then that in turn has a ripple effect, right? Like, I mean, like that's what's happening right now on the internet with a lot of like TikTok and everything. A lot of people are just like, they're like, dude, like I never had anybody who I could talk to about all this weird stuff. And now I'm seeing a bunch of people talk to, and now what I want to do is like find the others, right? Like that's what this community is about. Like this community is about being able to like find the other weirdos. And by weirdos, like it's funny because we think of that word and we still have this connotation to it. Some people are going to be like, oh, you're weirdos, like stay the hell away from me. But then if you're like, no, weirdos are actually like those of us who are celebrating that heart connection, that heart expression, and more aware of our connection to the magic around us, right? When you think of weird or weirdos, from now on, just correlate that with like wizard. So weird equals wizard, which is, again, that's like actually what the root is. That's where it comes from. Like the word weird and wizard are actually like linked together. So the world needs your weird. And it needs it to be able to be a pattern interrupt, to be something different, to be someone dancing on the street when everybody else is just like walking around like zombies, right? Yo, Orange Party, thank you for joining in. Love the weird, love for the weird, absolutely. And Orange Party, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for joining in. We got a pretty awesome crew and a lot of amazing weird people here. So, you know, if I ever say that like, hey, I think you're weird, like, that's a compliment, man. So yeah, it's interesting, right? Like a lot of us, like when we were younger, like people would tell us that we're weird to be like you're weird, right? And then, you know, in some circumstance, you'd be like, ouch, like that hurt. And maybe it would still hurt because you understand, like for them, it's an insult, right? But, you know, again, you know, what if like nowadays and people would be like, you're weird. Nowadays, like, dude, that is a freaking badge. Like that is a compliment. That is honor. That is something that acknowledges that you are not just going along with the status quo. You know, the status quo, I think the status quo is weird. And by weird in that circumstance, I mean just kind of like, you know, peculiar is what I mean. And that's to me like where I think instead of just saying the word weird, we should just like look at people and be like, you're peculiar. Meaning you're a little bit different, you're unusual, there's something about you, there's a quirkiness to you. If people really want to insult you, instead of calling you weird, they should find another word and just be blunt about it. They should just be like, I think what you're doing is foolish and blah, 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 right? Which again is really just a projection of themselves. That's what some people sound like, literally. But again, even when you think of that, if they're calling you foolish, again, it goes back to the tarot card of the Fool, right? So like you can kind of like bring in this style and this energy that to some people it may just freaking make them question reality, but at the same time you can do it from a place of clarity. Like you can express your weirdness from a place of intention. Wield your weirdness. Use it as a freaking wizard staff that you're like shooting weird lasers around, and those weird lasers are inspiring people and they're bringing art into this world and they're sparking conversations, you know? Like who would you rather be with? Would you rather be with someone who is boring or someone who is weird? Would you rather sit down at a party across the couch from someone who is talking to you about something that you've probably heard before that you really have no absolute interest in, and that's okay because maybe they're really interested in it, but maybe you're just not really interested in it. Again, it's, you don't want to be like freaking like, you don't want to project their energy back at you if like someone's coming at you and they're just like really passionate about talking about football. You can be like, look, I get it, that's just not my thing, maybe there's something else we can talk about. But you know, if someone's just like be like freaking like talking about the freaking news or something like that, you'd be like, dude, like this is so boring to me, like let's talk about weird shit. Let's talk about like how like freaking Lord of the Rings might have been based on actual ancient manuscripts of Hollow Earth or something like talk to me about that weird shit, man. Like that's the weird shift, that's where I live, right? So embrace your weirdness, because the weirdness is the magic, is what your heart actually is birthed from and yearns to return to. And the more that we can embrace a little bit more of that weirdness and a little bit more of that quirkiness, and maybe a little bit of that quirkiness is like literally just like dancing during your day. You know, like stagnation is like the opposite of weird. And not necessarily just stagnation, because stillness is different. Stillness is quite different from stagnation. If you're still, that doesn't mean you're stagnant, right? But the lack of kind of frequency, if like weird looks like this, it's like moving, it's breathing, it's constantly in this fluctuation of expression, right? Like if you're weird and you're having a conversation with someone, you could be weird for hours. It's a heartbeat, it's a life force that's moving through you. If you're on the opposite, because if anything, you know, let's look at weird as like a spectrum. It's not like you're weird and you're not weird. It's just a spectrum of like where your weird is. And again, for me, I'm using weird kind of in this idea of like really being tapped into the expression of spirit, speaking through you, living through you, breathing through you. And then on the other side of that spectrum, the frequency is a little bit different. And then that's where you get people who just like be like, no, I embrace the fact that I'm not weird. And then you look at their life and it's just like robot moves, robot stuff, robot things, nothing new, routine, same old, And again, I'm not saying like, oh, they're a bad person because of that, but kind of like in the Matrix, how do we shift them out of that? How does our weird kind of move them where suddenly, where it once was this robot routine, they're like, actually, you know what? Like, I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to tune into a cool podcast and get inspired by it. I'm going to create some art. I'm going to create some short stories. I'm going to sing some songs. I'm going to dance. Weird is the magic breathing through you. So again, I could talk about this one for a while, but let's get close to wrapping this up. If you guys resonate with this, go ahead and let me know. Orange Party says, usually if someone is calling me weird in a bad way, they're just jealous because they're boring. Nailed it. That's exactly my point, right? They're like, you're weird. And then on the inside, they're just like, I wish I had the courage to express myself like you. Like I'm judging you right now, but at the same time, I'm a little bit jealous that you're dancing on a street corner and I'm not. Excuse me as I go home and just like distract myself without ever actually like resolving anything, sort of thing, right? I've seen it. I've been on the opposite end of it, like doing free hugs downtown. Of course people would be like, you're weird, but then at the same time, what would be interesting is that your weirdness would actually plant a seed, and then the next day they would come back and they would see me again and be like, hey, I saw you here yesterday, like now I'm curious. Like, so weirdness, your weirdness can actually spark curiosity in others as well, right? So Eloise Weezy says, it reminds me of that scene in Garden State when Natalie Portman tells Zach Braff to do something that's never been done before. Man, I should watch Garden State. I feel like I haven't seen that. Like, I think I've seen parts of that movie, but I haven't seen all of it. That's a good movie. I should go back and watch that, though. Orange Party says, exactly. I'd rather be weird and happy than normal and sad. Nailed it again. That's exactly it, right? And unfortunately, see, that's the thing, right? Like, the previous card we had about this, Galactic Healer. That's the thing right now. Like, a lot of people, like, the weirdness is something that's sleeping inside of them. How do we help bring out more weirdness within them into this world? By expressing our own weirdness and by creating space to give them permission, you know, like by being able to invite them into the music, to invite them into the play, to invite them into the expression, to connect to that inner childlike energy, which isn't just like child energy. That inner, what we refer to as the inner child energy, that's just like primordial energy. Like, you can embody that energy as an adult, right? Like, that's not just something where it's like, oh, you have to be childish, sort of thing. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, dude, like, that's the soul wanting to like dance and act and live and express through you. So yeah, I validate my uniqueness as soul gold. As I share, the treasure is multiplied. So yes, your weirdness is the treasure that you have to share with this world. So embrace it, embrace your uniqueness of your weird, evolve it, embody it, nurture it, and have fun sharing it, man. The world needs it. So if this resonates with you, drop those 1111s in the chat. I'll do a quick little intermission here, and go ahead and write a little affirmation in the chat. Usually for those of you who are tuned in, we always encourage you guys to write out a little affirmation to show that the message that came through is like one that landed with you. So a little affirmation based on the message of this chat. So you can just kind of say like, I am, or we are, and then just write out something in the chat or just speak it to yourself. So I'll do one just as an example if you need. I am continuing to honor and celebrate my unique weirdness and to be able to bring it out into the world through the expression of my art, through my dance, through my conversations, and to use my weirdness as magic to inspire the weirdness in others. So cheers to the weirdos. Freaking right, man. I feel like I should make a TikTok video about that. Word to the weird. So beautiful card. Beautiful card. Weird is the new cool. Boldly express your uniqueness. Awesome. All right, team. Let's take a moment here for anybody who's tuned in right now. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you're new, there's a lot of awesome stuff happening here in the community. If you guys want to connect to our Discord server, go ahead and do that. I'm doing some upgrades on it, so just kind of check in on it on the regular, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening through the community. Again, if you're looking to be able to connect with a community of conscious creators and weirdos, definitely check out the Patreon. The Patreon, again, is our monthly membership. And with that, you can sign up at the $11 a month. And when you sign up for that, if you want to sign up right now, then we'll do another on-air reading and you can help facilitate that. And when you sign up for that, you get access to our regular, exclusive, private member events. You also get discounts for our item shop where you can get some weird items, such as some weird light guardian crystals that I make. Look how weird these are. Whoa, they're so freaking weird, man. No, seriously, they are. They're designed to be weird. So again, if you sign up for the Patreon, you can get discounts for my item shop, and link for that's in the info for this video. Plus, if you sign up at the $33 level, that's the best value. That's where you can get an additional Light Guardian Crystal, just pay shipping on that. And also monthly sessions with me, one-on-one tarot or one-on-one conscious media creation coaching. And yeah, lots of other awesome events coming up. We've got our dream discussion class coming up this Saturday for members. That's going to be weird. Guarantee you that's going to be weird, man. And we've got our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got a Paradigm Shift Circle discussion. And Thursday, we have our Conscious Creator Media Dojo. And that's going to be about teaching people how to build a Patreon and how to use Discord as well. So again, if you guys are thinking of signing up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that when it works for you. Contributions only process on the 1st of each month. So if you guys want to sign up today, nothing processes yet. And if you guys are like brand new, like Orange Party, if you're looking for like a community of conscious creators to connect to, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, see if it resonates with you, choose a tier that you prefer, and reach out to me if you have any questions on Instagram, if there's any thing that you want to ask me through direct message there as well. But yeah, we've been building this community for quite some time. We are a community of conscious creators, aka weirdos, helping shift consciousness. I've been creating conscious media for like thousands of years, and right now a big part of my focus is, again, just being able to help support fellow conscious creators on their journey as well. So there's a lot of awesome stuff there. Also, I'll mention this, I reiterated it earlier, the members, through participating in the Discord, you guys can earn points, which you can exchange for shift buttons. So you can actually like make your money back by like earning shift buttons. And the shift buttons, again, these are weird buttons. There's a lot of different symbols that we have on them. And the buttons themselves, they link to the community. They have the website on the rim, and you can give these to people. So I always used to do this when I would do free hugs and I would give out buttons. Like that was like part of my weird tactics. For anybody who wants to be able to order some shift buttons, go ahead and do that now. The parts just came in, so I'm going to be making some new shift buttons, and we're actually going to be doing some giveaways for those throughout the week as well. But for anybody who wants to be able to order some shift buttons, the Patreon members, you guys got a discount for that, so go ahead. Real quick, for anybody in the YouTube or the TikTok or the Twitch, if you guys want to order some shift buttons maybe soon, do me a favor, drop a 555 in the chat if you're thinking about it. And I would highly encourage you to do it, to be able to give yourself like the tools and the gears that will help evoke synchronicity. So the shift buttons are super awesome. There's lots of different designs. It's all like sacred geometry and metaphysical symbols and stuff on them. And yeah, just having those on you is a great way to like connect with other weird people, like literally like 100% connect with other weird people, and again be able to connect them further to this community. So it's pretty cool. I've been making shift buttons for like since like 2012, and yeah, I've given out like thousands of them over the years. Like it's crazy how many shift buttons are out there now. So let's take a moment here, just kind of hang out. Again, if you guys would like to be able to keep this broadcast going and add your support through a PayPal or Patreon sign up, go ahead and do that now. Even if you just want to let me know if you're signing up right now. We got about 7,000 people tuned in on YouTube right now and 4,000 people tuned in on TikTok and Twitch. Sure. If anybody here would like to be able to join in on the Patreon, let me know if you're interested in signing up. And I'd love to be able to get one new sign up on Patreon today. And we're currently at 115. And again, when you guys sign up on PayPal or Patreon, we'll do a reading for you on air. So every reading we do is for the individual who's helping facilitate and for the collective. And again, you would just sign up, I'll see it come through, and then we'll confirm in the chat. We'll go through a meditation together, and then we'll do the next reading. And recent Patreon supporters, shout out to Craig, shout out to Ella, shout out to Cassie, shout out to Eloise, and shout out to Lauren, and shout out to Jason. Super appreciate you guys adding your support. We're currently at 115 on Patreon, working towards our next mini milestone of 122. And you guys probably know that we're working on reaching 200 before the baby comes, which is... man, that's coming up quick, man. Lacey's already in her second trimester, so time's flying by. Thank you guys again so much for your support. Again, if you guys would like to keep the broadcast going, go ahead and sign up for the PayPal or the Patreon. Otherwise, this is just kind of last call, and we'll get close to wrapping this up. But more than happy to do some more readings for you guys. And again, if you guys are new, definitely feel free to connect into the Discord and check things out there. Again, I'm still doing some upgrades in the Discord, so just kind of be mindful of that, because it will be there's just like a few things that I'm just kind of like updating. So cool. And we got some like new automation in the Discord set up now, so that's pretty cool. Like Kristen posted some new TikToks today. Whoa, Kristen got a haircut today. Aw, she got like bangs. Oh, that looks wonderful. Yeah, if you guys check the Discord, that's a great way to be able to like see new content that is coming through from the creators as well. So super cool. Awesome. All right, thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. Again, for those of you who may be on Twitch, please feel free to subscribe. We're live here Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT. Again, we got lots more happening in the community. And yeah, super excited to be able to welcome in new members. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, just check it out when you get a chance. See what resonates with you, especially if you're just like, man, I've been looking for a really cool community, then definitely feel free to check it out. We had a soul party last Thursday. That was really fun. That was really good. I know Ashley and Eloise were there for that. So cool. All right, would anybody like to be able to sign up for the Patreon? Or order, if anybody even wants to order any buttons as we're doing this, go ahead and do that now, and then we can initiate another reading. Like either or, that's fine. So if anybody would like to be able to do one or the other, please just let me know, and then we'll get things ready to move into another reading. Otherwise, we'll get close to wrapping it up. So. Cool. All right. Cool. Thank you guys again. Wishing you guys an awesome day. Again, last call on anybody who would like to be able to initiate another reading on air. If you guys want to sign up on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now and just let me know. And if we do have another contribution there, then we'll do another reading. Otherwise, we'll get close to wrapping it up, which is totally fine. Lacey and I gotta go grocery shopping soon anyway. So I think we're gonna be done for today, just so I'm not delaying the grocery shopping that needs to be done. Hey, what's up to those of you on TikTok as well? Thank you guys again for joining in. So last call. If anybody wants to be able to get a reading on air and contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and just let me know in the chat. And yeah, super excited to be able to just have more people connect. Happy Monday, happy full moon. It's a full moon today, as far as I know. Yeah, it's pretty full. We're in like Libra now too, so that's pretty exciting. So cool. All right, team. I'm gonna wrap this up. This was a fun broadcast. For those of you who just tuned in, feel free to check out the recording. For those of you on Twitch, you guys can always tune in on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed there as well. And feel free to connect to the Discord server and lots of other exciting things happening within the community. And yeah, if you have any questions about the Discord or anything like that, feel free to let me know. You guys can reach out to me for individual sessions if you would like. And yeah, we'll wrap it up here. I'm gonna go get some grocery shopping done with the pregnant partner with Lacey. And thank you guys again. Please feel free to leave your comments of gratitude in the chat, and we'll wrap it up. And again, for those of you who are looking to tune in later today, we do have our team podcast the Shooting the Shift podcast at 4 p.m. today, and it's going to be with our friend Neil, and we're going to be talking all about the Portal to Ascension conference, which is all about like UFO disclosure and like ancient civilization and all sorts of really, really cool stuff. So let's wrap it up here. Thank you guys as always. I'll be back again Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT, and yeah. Have an awesome day. Thanks for being weird. Thanks for being the Galactic Healers you are. And I'll see you guys around. Much love. Keep it shifty. And yeah, thank you as always. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Check out the Patreon if you haven't yet. I love you guys. Let's get 116. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, talk to you guys soon. Much love.